Welcome back, second graders. I am really excited to see the backyard pictures that you have put together. Today, we are going to be adding marker to them. So your drawing should look like this. And we are going to be working on making it look like this week. Your supplies that you need to have with you are the drawing that you started in pencil, any of your fun sketches, right? If in case you need to practice, if you want to add something new. You're going to want to have your fine tip or fine point Sharpie black marker and your ultra fine point Sharpie marker and a pencil and an eraser. We'll be using the eraser to get rid of any of the lines that we don't trace in black. And you will be using the pencil and eraser in case you want to add something to your picture as you go. Eventually, as a reminder, we will be adding color. We won't do that this week, but that's what we're working towards. We're working towards doing the outlines, which you can see of all of these creatures and spaces we have in black, and then we add the color after that. The one last thing that you might want are the copies of the pages that I sent home from Panorama, a fold-out book. That might help you figure out what areas you are going to make really dark black. Let's get started. I'm going to leave the one that I have traced up here for inspiration. I'll have the one that I'm working on here, and I'll kind of put my colored one to the side so we can keep in mind where we are headed. It's interesting to see here, this is basically the same drawing. I just did it twice as this one. I want you to notice that these really big leaves that I made, I did a good section of those black. And you can see what that looks like then with the color, where I will be putting green in between. But most of the areas we are just outlining. The tree I did with the fine point marker as well as the line for the lights so that those would be thicker and stand out. All of the other items I used my ultra fine Sharpie. The one thing that I was going to add to this open space here was one or two butterflies. You can pull out your sheet from the book that has a picture of those, but I'm going to put those in pencil so I know how I want them to look. I also am going to kind of put a little trail of lines to insinuate kind of the direction of the flight. I want to include one more small one. However you do the pattern, if you include butterflies, is up to you, but you just want to remember they're symmetrical, so whatever you do on one side you want to do on the other side, or at least something similar. I might decide to put a small butterfly here later, but I'm going to do everything in black first and see if we like that. I'm going to always start with my ultra fine because that gives me the most control. If I need to go in with the little bit bigger one, I will do that. If you don't have the larger Sharpie marker, you can always use your black Crayola. I'm starting with the chair. And as you can see, I have a blanket hanging over my chair. That's folded and draped. So I've included the table, the chair that's across from this chair at the table. So you can see that I am just going in and tracing all of the lines that we have taken so much time to do. I want you guys to remember that this project is going to take 3 weeks. So I want to see thoughtful, beautiful work, like some of the work that you have already shown me that you can do. Kind of like our cardinals that we cut out. Each week we did a little bit because there was so much to do. I don't want you to feel rushed or to rush this. This is probably the most important part of your drawing, because once you use these markers and put your lines in, you can't change them. So take your time, put on some good music, listen to a story, chat with your family, do something while you can take your time and trace the lines that you have put in. I have my side done, and I'm going to go ahead and put my string of lights in. I like to do a double circle for the light bulb and then another light circle that goes around the outside that is like the glow from the light bulb being on. I look forward to seeing what kinds of light you added to yours. You could have put strung lights in, you could have put just the moon and the stars or the sun, or a little cute little lamp or a candle on a cake or at the table. So now you can see all of the lights that are strung together. I put my little cardinal in. You remember, you're just doing the outline. You don't want to be filling them in. We want to save that for the color that we'll be doing next week. Before I do any more of these, I'm going to add the tree like I did up here, but you can see I'm going to use my thicker marker to do that. I'm putting the pine needles in, but I'm doing it with my ultra thin marker. And when you see it up against what the fine tip marker did, you can see how much thinner it actually is. When you're at the point that you have all of your drawing outlined in black, you're going to want to go in with your eraser and you want to take out any of the pencil lines that you have left behind. So from far away you can't quite see all of my pencil lines, but when I hold it up close you can see the pencil lines on my butterfly and in my large leaves. So I'm rubbing my eraser basically over any area where there's marker. So you can see now we just have our marker that's left. This is all that we're going to do this week. We're going to prep our drawing to get all of our pencil turned into our black lines. Please take your time. If you need to take a break in between and work on this over a couple of days, that is a great idea. Please post your work in progress on Seesaw so that I can see that your pencil drawings have turned nicely into beautiful marker ink drawings. Next week, we will be adding color, which is a lot of fun, and you will hopefully be really excited about the results of how your drawing inspired by our book, Panorama, a fold-out book projects turn out. So I hope you have a great week, and I will look forward to seeing your work.